It is good to have you here. My name is Benji. Today we're talking about how to find your 1,000 true fans. I'm talking about the fans that will just die for you, follow you to the end of the earth, and if for some reason you disappeared or you stopped posting videos or articles, they would track you down with every will in their body and be like, hey, I missed you. Where are the videos? Where's the stuff? Those are the fans that are out there for you, and that's what this whole entire channel is all about. So if this video is helpful and if that's you, give this video a thumbs up. Also subscribe, because why not? This is where we're talking about how to frame your story, how to frame your narrative, and how to frame your beliefs and your values in a way that attracts people like you, and so that you guys can also have your true tribe of 1,000 true fans. Now, the concept of the 1,000 true fans, if you're not familiar, it's basically coined by a man named Kevin Kelly, and the concept is simply that the idea of having 10 million or 100 million followers or subscribers is not as valuable as just having 1,000 true fans who are just will follow you and listen to everything you say and do whatever you do whatever you say. Having the close following of 1,000 true fans is infinitely more valuable than having a million subscribers. For example, in the case of YouTube, having 1,000 true subscribers that will watch every video that you post and will follow you, and if you don't post for long enough, they'll be like, where are the videos, right? Those people, having that 1,000 subscriber base is more valuable in the eyes of YouTube than having a million subscribers where only 1% or even 10% of the people watch your videos, because it's telling YouTube that your content is really valuable, and the chances are it's going to push it out to more and more circles and more individuals to be discovered. So the goal for here is to reach 1,000 true fans, but the sky's the limit, right? And for many of you, it might sound like 1,000 is a lot. That's a stretch. It might take a long time. This video is exactly what it's going to take from you, how long it's going to take to reach your 1,000 true fans, and how realistic it can actually be. I think for many of us, we hear that and we think, oh, I can't reach 1,000 people. They're not 1,000 people, I know, or I don't even have 1,000 friends, right? But if you think about it like this, if you can find 10 people, just 10 people that love you and adore you and just are fans of you and believe in what you believe in, if you can find 10 people, you can find 100 people. It's just a matter of consistency. If you can find 100 people, you can find 1,000 people. If you can find 1,000 people, you will hit 10,000 people if you are consistent and if you put the effort using the approach that we have here. And the two approaches that that are the most effective, and I'll talk about why they are, is YouTube and blogs, YouTube and website. All right. Now, the reason that these two methods for finding your 1,000 true fans is so effective, and why YouTube is hands down just handing out, basically it's just handing out free subscribers if you just put in the right amount of consistent effort and you create the content that is for your tribe, for your audience, then that's just right there for the picking. And that's what this channel that you're watching right now is all about. So I actually put a more in-depth tutorial, a step-by-step tutorial about how to go from 0 to 1,000 and beyond of followers and true fans that are going to follow you and follow what you believe in. And that's what that goes more into. But today I'm just going to focus on the timeline, more how long you can expect this to take, more practically and realistically. So the reason that I emphasize YouTube so much is because by far YouTube is the fastest and most effective way to build a community, to build an audience, for a number of reasons. One reason is that YouTube's algorithm is designed, its only job, if you think about it, is to show content to you, the viewer or other viewers, to show content that is relevant to them, that they would find interesting. That's its only job. That's the algorithm's job. It's what it's supposed to do, and it's what it's getting better and better at doing. So with that said, if you create content that resonates with a certain individual or a certain belief system, then YouTube will push that to people who are searching for other things or have similar interests. And that is a beautiful key opportunity, and YouTube is entirely free to get started on. You don't have to pay anything. It's just giving you this content for free. And on top of that, YouTube is one of the largest search engines in the world, which is a huge factor to consider, is that people are going to YouTube to search for content. For example, how do I get a new water bottle? What's the best laptop case or whatever? People are searching all the time on YouTube, which is a double bonus because they're not only searching, but they're also YouTube is pushing content in the suggested videos column on videos, which you probably see right now over there. So this is a huge opportunity that YouTube is just handing to us, and by far, it's like, if I were to make a comparison of the three main avenues to reach your fans: YouTube, Google through websites, and social media, right? Social media I'll talk more about in just a second. If I were to compare these to, like, let's say cars, or getting from point A to point B, or 0 to 1,000, what is the most efficient way to get from point A to point B? I would compare YouTube to be like a Tesla Roadster or whatever, like the most powerful, the fastest, most efficient, most fuel efficient, most economically efficient method to get from point A to point B. It's super fast. It's just the best option. However, there are some significant roadblocks or mental roadblocks that people go over, such as the financial investment of getting a Tesla, and also the mental roadblock of just using an automated and electric car, right? So in comparison to YouTube, it is the fastest way to grow to your audience, hands down. It's happening all the time. People are building huge audiences online without having to do so much editing and so much investment, and just throwing in the camera and finding the right search terms and keywords and queries that people are looking for, and just posting them online based on your experience and your expertise. And if you just do that consistently every week, and this is the key, every single week, for my recommended the time frame is 2 years. Give yourself 2 years of posting every week, and you will see success, and you will get to 1,000 subscribers within 2 years. There's no doubt. That is very, very doable, very easily achievable. So the question is not, can I reach 1,000 fans? Do I have 1,000 true fans? No, the question really is, first of all, can I have 10 true fans? Do I have 10 true fans? Because if I can have 10 true fans, I can have 100 true fans. If I get 100 true fans, I can have 1,000 true fans, and so on and so forth. And the second question is simply, can I create content a YouTube video every single week for 2 years? And if the answer to those questions is yes, I can see myself committing to that, then you are on the road to victory. You're on the road to success, because that is what it takes. We cannot have the mentality that, oh, I'll just throw some videos on, and I've done this myself. I'll just throw some videos onto a channel and see what sticks. And if people aren't responding, I'll just give up and say I tried, but I didn't really try hard enough. No, when you're starting your YouTube venture, this is your mission. This is your purpose. This is what gets you up in the morning. You have to have the mentality that I'm in this to succeed, and I'm not going to give up until I see success, until I see my goal. And if you have that mentality, it's an instant change and shift. It's the shift that I made many years ago, is I'm not giving up until I have success. I'm not giving up until I reach my goal. And if it takes 2 years, that's what it's going to take. But if you are consistent and you follow the structure and the advice that I'm giving on this channel, then you will see success within 2 years. It's very, very doable. And you'll learn as you go. That's really what it takes, is 2 years every video. So essentially what it boils down to is, can you make 100 videos for 2 years, every week for 2 years? That's 104 videos. Can you make 100 videos? And if the answer to that is, yeah, I have 100 topics to cover, and you probably do. If you just make a list of all the topics that you want to cover, you can reach 100 videos, no problem. And you just think of them, you record every week, or you can batch record them, and then you can actually schedule them on YouTube to go out every month. So you only have to spend like 1 day actually recording, and then you can maybe a little bit of editing here and there, and then you can schedule them out for a whole month's worth or 2 months worth. What I like to do personally is, when I get in a mood of recording videos, I just record a whole bunch of them. I like doing that when I'm in the spirit's moving me to just get content out. Then I just like to record it and keep going with that. All right. So that's the bottom line of YouTube, is if you can record 100 videos over a 2-year period, then you're set. You're very, very likely to succeed. So a question people have often is it okay to do it every other week? Does it have to be every week? So YouTube the company YouTube has actually stated recently that they will not penalize your account if you do it every other week. If you take a 2-week break, for example, then it's not going to penalize your subscription base or your account based on that. They do like to have people consistent, and you can imagine the reason for that is because they don't want people just like throwing stuff on the internet without being really committed to it and just kind of seeing how it goes, and then you don't see them for years or months at a time. It's really just a really not a pleasant viewer experience if people are, subscribing to your YouTube channel, for example, and you're just not being consistent with it. They really are trying to weed out any YouTube creators who are just not committed or not serious to actually invest in their channel and in their brand and content creation. So it's in YouTube's best interest to have people be consistent, and YouTube does like that, and it does favor and reward that kind of content where you're consistent. So every week, you've got to do it every single week. Sometimes you can do every other week if you're just busy, but you have to be committed to it every week. If you can do it twice a week, then that's fantastic. You don't have to do it more than twice a week, but if you can do it twice a week, that's great. But once a week is perfectly fine, perfectly doable, and YouTube will like that, all right? So the second platform that you might be considering to build your 1,000 true fan subscriber base is through blogs and websites. Okay, so if we're making the comparison with transportation again, because I like this analogy that I made up, using a blog to get to your destination, to your goal of 1,000 true fans, is like riding a bicycle to that destination. It's slower, it's reliable, it's efficient in that it doesn't use, it is just using your body and your muscles, and you're exerting your energy. It's healthy, but it's slower, and it's just more, it takes a certain skill set. You have to learn how to ride a bicycle before you can actually get to your destination, right? You can't just hop on a bike. So the same with blogging. If you're starting a website, if you're starting a blog about whatever your content or your niche is about, then you have to take it as an approach of, you have to learn exactly the steps, the format of each blog post, and SEO, on-page SEO, all these things that are really important to know. You can't just be an academic writer and say, oh yeah, I took English in college or wherever, or high school, and I know how to write content. It's very, very different for writing for Google, which is the goal, is that you want to write content that Google will find, and it will rank very high up on the page 1 on the Google search queries. So that's the goal, but it's a learned skill that you have to learn. It's not difficult to do, and I'm going to put another video down below that actually goes more in depth into how to actually formulate your website and start creating blog content that is done in a very specific way. So go check out this video after this one if that's you, if you want to use blogs to build your audience, all right? But I just want to add, with regards to blogs, it's in terms of what's most efficient, like Tesla level YouTube, which is just instant. You can post a video and instantly find it. Blogging is a little more tricky, because if you post an article, it takes months and months, especially if you have a new website that's not established with Google. It takes months and months and months for Google to find it and to rank it and to put it in the right spot in the Google rankings. So for that reason, YouTube is just instantly. You can make a video, post it, create an engaging video, and you can find it immediately. It's just way more efficient in that sense. So in that way, I do recommend YouTube over blogging if you're trying to build an audience. But the 2-year time frame is still very valid if you're trying to build a blog audience within a 2-year time frame. However, I must say that the days of like following bloggers as a blogger are kind of dwindling right now. It's more like following YouTubers. When was the last time you went to a blog or a website specifically because you were really interested in what that person had to say? It's not as common as it was maybe 10 years ago. Right now, it's more like people just search on Google for something they're looking for. They look at one article and then they leave. They don't even see who wrote the article or the website, or remember even the website that was on. So if that's a concern for you and you just don't like the idea of being on camera, then I would actually encourage you to watch the full webinar tutorial that I did down below in the description. I'll put a link there that explains kind of the nitty-gritty of how to get over this idea of using YouTube and getting yourself out there. I really think you can do it. Anyone can do it. It's a learned skill. You can learn how to do it. If you've ever given a public speech or a sermon or presentation, you can do YouTube, I promise. All right. So the next platform, third one, this is the last one, is about social media. Okay. So specifically, I'm talking about Instagram and Facebook. I think many people do go to Facebook when they think about building an audience. They think, oh, I'm familiar with Facebook. I can use Facebook to start a group or something. So the analogy with social media, and you might not like this one, is that using social media to build your audience is like trying to get from point A to point B on a treadmill. Meaning that you're not actually moving anywhere when you're on a treadmill, but you're getting good exercise, being engaged, and it seems like you're going somewhere, but you're actually not really moving the needle so much in your business or in your venture. So, and the reason for that is that the big reason is that when people are going to Facebook, for example, they're not generally the human behavior of going to Facebook is not people looking for answers. People are not looking for or searching for an answer to a question they have, or searching for a new thing to learn, or searching for a new audience or a tribe to be a part of. They're not. They are, however, looking for that when they're going to YouTube or Google. Generally, they're looking for answers. And when they find something, it's like the algorithm for YouTube and Google is designed to show you content that you didn't really think you knew before, or didn't think you needed, but it's just available to you right there. With Facebook, on the other hand, people go to there honestly when they're bored and they have nothing to do, and they're just trying to figure out what to do with, like, they're on the toilet or wherever. I don't know where you watch Facebook. And the same goes for Instagram. I mean, Facebook and Instagram are of the same company under Facebook, and people are generally there just to scroll. It's notoriously hard to get people to take action on Facebook, and Instagram, which I'm really getting to. It's hard to get people to go to a website or to sign up for your webinar or to sign up for your community or your tribe, because people are not there to do that. They're there to just be entertained and to receive, notifications and whatnot. So in that sense, it's very, very inefficient for building your tribe. And I wouldn't say it's a waste of time. And because there is actually a very helpful thing to do with social media that I'm going to talk about right now. And that is simply that this is an opportunity to share content that you are making on your YouTube channel and on your blog. Like, this is incredible. Like, if you have a bunch of friends and you're okay just to share, you're like, hey guys, I started this YouTube channel that I'm so excited about. I'm passionate about this, and I want to share with you guys. Let me know what you think. That is an excellent way to find new people, to engage the people that you are already in close circles with, and you can share that kind of content with them if you're okay to do that. Personally, I don't like sharing things on my personal Facebook because I don't want to be spammy, but it's okay to do once. Like when you start a new venture, it's okay to say, hey guys, I started this new thing, or post like once a month. That's totally fine, totally reasonable. And the other thing that you can do with Facebook that actually I do a lot more is engage in groups on Facebook. Facebook groups are an excellent way to find your tribe, because you can go, basically there's anything under the sun, there's a group about it on Facebook. Basically, whatever belief system you have, whatever values you have, whatever social groups you're in, whatever hobbies you have, there's a group for that you can find those people and just share the content. Say, hey guys, let me know your feedback on this, but not just spammy. You can't just go in there and post every article or every video you write. It's really important that you provide value to the members there. So if people ask questions specifically in the group, you answer the question with a short blurb saying, it's like, yeah, I had this experience with this, and this is what my result was. And by the way, here's a full article or full video that I recorded about my experience with this. That is valuable to the members of the group, and the facilitators, the admin of the group will like that as well. And they won't penalize you for that. So that's what you can do with groups, is just post stuff that's helpful. Make sure that you're engaging in the community and that you're actually an active member of the community that's giving and receiving content and not just trying to spam stuff, all right? So that's really the best use of social media, is posting on your personal account and also posting in groups that you're part of and just engaging the community there. That's an excellent way to start building your tribe. You never know. There might be like 10% of your, or half of the people that you're friends with on Facebook might really love what you have to say about whatever your topic is on your YouTube channel or on your website. So it's a great place to go. So to wrap it up, you have to watch this video, the full tutorial that I made about how to build your audience from 0 to 1,000 and everything that you need to know to do that well, and frame your story. Most importantly, learning how to frame your story, frame your narrative, and frame the context of your beliefs and your values so that you can find people that think like you. That's probably the best advice anyone's ever given me. It's about creating content, is create something that you would want to watch. Create something more importantly that you wanted to see when you had the same questions that you're trying to answer. What are the moments or the questions that you had 10 years ago, 5 years ago, when you had your children, when you got married, when you joined your faith community, or whatever experience you have, or overcame this problem or this challenge in your life? What are the moments or questions you had that you can provide answer for? And that is a beautiful narrative. That is just, hey guys, I had this experience and I just want to help. I just want to help whoever I can. That's beautiful, and people will be attracted to you. And that is what we're doing here with this channel, is we're trying to frame the narrative of just being helpful individuals and create content that is just wholesome and beautiful and just different from all the noise and nonsense that's currently being portrayed on the internet. So if that's you, be sure to subscribe to this channel, because that's what we're all about. And also like this video if it's helpful, because it helps me out, because it helps this video go out to more people and we can really share this message with others. All right, so be sure to check out that video down below. I really want to make sure that you see that and get all the content that you need to get started on your journey. All right, thanks for watching. God bless. Take care.